Welcome back. Let's also create a schema so we can start pushing up some code and seeing that table here in Neon database. Okay, so we'll go to the server here and create a new file and call this schema.ts. Okay, we're going to create a super simple one. You can just say export const, name it any way you want. I'll say posts. And here, what we can do is import pg table from drizzle orm. And you want to make sure this is from pg core like that. So pg table. So here, if I want to specify an ID that the database can generate for us, I can import this serial from pg core again, give it an ID. And here, again, you can do quite a bit. You can add a primary key to it. If you want to mark this as a value that should not be null, you can also add that on top of it like this. So when you actually try to make a post request to the posts, it's going to be like, hey, you got to make sure that all these values are available. In this case, this will automatically generate one for you because it has a primary key on it. But when you have a title, for example, let's say this is like a type of text, right? Title, if I had the not null here, like I wouldn't be able to post to this unless I send a value true, okay? So that's one table here that we have. And now to use it, we can head back here to where we're initializing our database and import the schema here. So we're gonna say import, and I can say all as schema from, remember the import aliases at the beginning of this course? It's this @ symbol. And when you do the @ symbol, it's just going to take you back to the root. So it's super clean to navigate through your folder structure. You're not going to have the dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash. And the reason we added an all symbol here is because the schema can have multiple different ones, right? You might have another schema here that's users, right? And then you might have another one. So you're going to have lots and lots here. Okay, now that we have that, we can add a comma here and pass in that schema here, schema like that, or just schema because they share the same name. We can also add a logger. Let's just say true here, just so when we make a request, it's going to give us a bit more details of what's going on. Okay, now that we have the schema ready, we can actually try to push up the changes to our Neon console here. So how can we do that? We still need one file here. So as you can see, we need to create this drizzle config file, and we'll just pretty much copy everything from it. So drizzle config.ts. Okay, make sure it's in your root directory. Let's copy over everything from here like that. There we go. And then we also need to import this .env because this file is not going to recognize your process env database URL here. Okay, so that's why we import this .env here, because we'll need to configure it with our env local. Okay, and you can test this out if you console log it here. So here we're specifying where our schema lives, and our schema lives in /server schema ts. The output here is going to give us the migration folder. So we can say server/migrations. The driver, we got pg, so we'll initialize that. And I believe here, all we really need to send down is the connection string like that. And that should be plenty. Lovely. Now we can actually execute this script and set up special scripts in our package log.json. So if we head back here, you can add these two lines here. Have a look. Where you say drizzle kit, it's one of the packages that we installed, and we can run generate and pass down the config file with all the necessary paths to it, and also push. So let's try to run these. npm run db push. Oh, as you can see, it says we have an invalid input. It says one of the connection strings is not available. So all we really need to do here is import everything from .env and configure it to accept the env local files. All right, so let's try to run npm run db generate, see if that passes and everything works out fine. And look at that, we have a migration file already ready for us. Let's have a look, and look at that. It used pure SQL to create that, and all of our types are also set up now where we can just query this data and we're not going to have any problems with it. Let's also run npm run db push, and now we should see the changes live in our Neon database. Oh, as you can see, it looks like we had an error going on here. So it says config path was provided, so that passed. However, we have a problem here. It looks like it does require a password authentication here. Now be careful, sometimes you may copy over. Look what I did. I copied over with the stars. That's my password that's blocked out there. So that might happen to you and then it's not gonna work. So you gotta make sure you hit the little eye icon here. Look, I totally screwed this up. So let's paste that in there and see if it works. So as you can see, it ran locally, but when we tried push, it didn't work. So let's hit save and run db push again. Oh, we might be lucky. And there we go. Change is applied. So now when we head to our Neon database, you can see if you go to tables, we have our posts finally up and running. Yes, that's awesome. So now that we have that up and running, you don't even need this Neon database anymore. You can actually close it up because Drizzle is going to provide you a really nice interface to work with your data. So let's close that up. We can close everything up now. We're done with Drizzle. So you can always have your server up and running on npm run dev here on your localhost 3000. And then what I recommend you doing is opening up another terminal here. And then you can run the command npx drizzle kit studio like that. Ooh, that's not right. Studio like that. I believe this comes with Drizzle kit. I don't believe you need to install this separately. Drizzle kit studio. Let's just give it a quick look just so I don't give you misinformation here. Yeah, it looks like you just need Drizzle kit installed. So now that you have that, check this out. You can copy this URL. Let's head over here, paste that in. And as you can see, boom, we are back in business. We have a post. Before we go, let's create 2 posts in here. So I'll just add some random text to them. Okay, that's 1. That's 2. All right, we have 2 random texts because in the next episode, I'll show you how we can query this and also modify and delete this data. So I'll see you there.